Check it out. In tune to the dynamic duo, Reese and Ira, on the corner, Real Talk Corner.
Real Entertainment Network.
Ira and Reese. The talk is still real. We still on the corner. We gonna touch on some topics.
SKN, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, it's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. Yeah.
Ira and Reese.
Dynamic duo,
Talk is still real. We still on the corner.
Real Talk
We
Corner.
gonna touch on some topics.
It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. Yeah.
Check it out. In tune.
All right. All right. Check. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out. Reese. What's up?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Blessed New Year to you, and your family.
Same to you. Same to you. Likewise.
Blessed
Yes,
New Year
man.
to the Wren family.
2024 feel good and all. Feel jiggy already.
Feel jiggy for you?
Yeah, 2024 don't feel like a jiggy already.
I mean, I get back my jigginess yet, boy. I'm still working on all of that. Got a lot
Like
of
everything,
work to do,
things take time. But I don't
Mhm.
know how we stay. And we're gonna bounce back. Resiliency is the key to it.
Yeah.
We accept life for what it is and understand that certain processes in life unfortunately we have to go through, but we keep bouncing.
Bunks up, huh? Well,
You know.
we closed off early 2023. Unfortunately, some unfortunate situations and happenings took place, and then I think my mic might be a little too loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. Okay, yeah. So I think we weren't on the air since like November.
Yeah.
Yeah, November. But we're back now, and because we're back, we got to look at 2023 as a whole. Close out 2023. It's okay, Reese. It's okay. Let's go. It's a part of it. It's a
Like,
part of. It's a part of. It's a
people in
part of
this world,
podcasting.
people in this world, I don't love them.
It's a part of the podcast journey.
It's
Yeah.
part of life.
Yeah. So we want to recap on 2023, right? We'll do a recap on
Yeah, man,
2023.
we gotta go back, go through 2023. Talk a little bit about 2023. Talk about some of the great things that would happen, and some of the other things that would happen that may not have been so great. But
Yeah.
it's our duty to highlight them all.
No argument there. No argument there. So what was some of your most memorable moments for 2023? Quick before we go through them. I mean, just like off the rip.
The people who went down to go see the Titanic sink 1,055,000 years ago, and you decided you weren't gonna go see it. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah.
As we know, Trump would have gotten indicted and faced some criminal charges. That was interesting for me as well to see a farmer player go through that.
Yeah.
And the sink is Nevis front, it'd have been interesting to see the way we would have maneuvered the allegations of the attorney general and the social security system vibes. That was interesting as well, and also the failure of Cultrama 49.
That was
Those
you.
were the four main things. Yeah, that was the four main things for me.
For them.
Yeah,
Um,
but
yeah,
the
they
people
were
went
big.
on by the Titanic, eh? It was number one.
I mean, he had the world for a while. He had a lot of people like really paying attention to that for a while.
Yeah.
Very distracting it was. It was very distracting. Um, when you come off of 2023, thinking about like 2019, 2020, and we had COVID, you know, it kind of like, okay, you know. For me, I remember
Yeah.
when the boat went missing. But you remember in January, kicking off January, and the same thing happened again this year. A plane crash. Plane had left Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport and crashed just off of Turks and Caicos, 17 miles. I think fortunately there were survivors. And like this year, no survivors. Um, that one was off the road. It never nice to hear about plane crash. Yeah, like one of the most terrifying things ever. One of the most
Yes,
common ways of travel too.
I agree
You
with you.
know, where one of the most common ways of travel. For me also, what had spike like the spike in the murder rate. That stood out for me on a local front. You know,
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, but hopefully this year is a better year. Hopefully this year we have less murders. I think we ended with like 31 or so murder. Last one happening in Nevis. It's always tragic, you know. A lot of people. It's like two sets of lives being damaged: the victim's life and the perp's life. If caught, I don't know how many of them got caught last year.
True.
Unfortunately, solving murder is not a big thing in the Federation. I think it's a Nevis, but I could say it's
Facts.
probably difficult across the world. You know what I mean? I don't think it's easy, and given I don't know, but hopefully it's a lot better this year, in the sense of less murders. What's your thought on that?
I think no matter how you look at it, crime is not a good thing. And like you're totally correct, right? When you look at these murders, you're impacting multiple families. You know, the individual who would have lost their life, that person who would have committed the crime, who may now be on the run, who may now be gearing up for another murder. You know, we just never know. So you impact society in so many ways. So I really do hope that the crime rate is something that we're able to manage. Our population is fairly small in comparison to the rest of the world, and when you look at where we stand sometimes within the murder rate, not just the number of murders, but the murder rate, which is what they go by. It's kind of disheartening at times
Hmm,
with
hmm.
where we fall. With where we fall.
Yeah. I don't even know where we fall. I don't even want to take a look. I know it's gonna be high. I know at one point in time we were the murder capital of the world, and the numbers kind of reflect those times. So unless everybody else who never slowed down just kept going, um, and increased their rates, then we probably somewhere like really close to the top. I know
True.
a country like who was it by the one where the president came in and he had this very controversial way of cleaning up crime, where
Um,
MS-13 from
El Salvador.
El Salvador. El
El
Salvador.
Salvador.
Yeah, El
Yes.
Salvador always used to outpace. You know what I mean? El Salvador always used to outpace, but um, the
Well,
man for El Salvador came in and buy Bitcoin. And
well, you know what? One of the things when you look at places like El Salvador, right? Because the population is so big, these communities are so huge. You may have a murder that happened just a half a mile along the road from you, but you don't know these individuals.
Yeah.
With our community being so small and being so tight knit, you may have somebody there on the other side of the island, at the other, and even on the other island, and you
Yeah.
still know that person.
Yeah.
So then the impact of a murder, even if it's only 31, 31 is a big number. And I mean,
Yeah.
and that 31 may impacted 75% of the nation. And I think so that number is still too high.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a valid point. I don't want to say good night to Gigi as my son just passed and hail up his grandmother Gigi. I see Gigi said she have to clear she mind before she travel. You can't really change destiny, Gigi. So just got you. But yeah, Reese, that's a valid point. Yeah, the impact to society, uh, the community, is greater. I know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so we gotta get a handle on that. You know, not trying to be political or anything, but we expect better things this year. You know, speaking of politics, I think both parties, the newly formed Labour administration and the CCM administration, they both would have come up on 1 year in government last year.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Any reflection on that?
Um, Not necessarily. I tell you what, I think that what we received from CCM is kind of what was expected. I don't know if anybody thought that we were going to have a big major change or anything of that nature. I think what we have been receiving, or what we receive, is what has been consistently given to us by the government. Um, I think when we look at the Labour government in St. Kitts, I think with all the change that was coming and all the talk of this corruption and how the government was so corrupt and all these things, I would have liked to have seen more. I
Hmm.
think we've just been hearing a lot of talk of corruption and how the government is this and but we haven't seen anything, or there hasn't been anything that we could say, okay, this is how the government has been corrupt. There's
Yeah,
nothing that we could pinpoint and say, okay, this is what they're talking about. I
yeah,
think even recently we would have heard Prime Minister Drew in the House speaking about this great corruption, but we're using this word corruption and we're throwing it around, but there's nothing that we're saying this is what the corruption is. This person steal a car door. That person take, we ain't calling names either. We're just saying corruption of the government.
yeah,
The entire
yeah,
government was corrupt. Is there one person? Is there one ministry? We're not breaking it down so that we could kind of understand what's going on.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, I echo that sentiment. I think that we we would have liked to see more action taken. You know, I'm tired of the rhetoric of we're gonna use the buzzwords, the corruption, and all of that, and then come in and then it just falls flat. You know, I was really hopeful. You know, I thought with the newly appointed Attorney General, he seemed to be a younger guy. He seemed to have a lot of energy and really wanted to get things turned around. I thought that we would have had more cases where he would have tackled some of the corruption in um, higher places. Um, if there's nothing done this year, I'm just gonna say there was no corruption. If there is nothing done, if nothing is brought out, if no one faces any consequences, because you cannot tell me that there is all this corruption and no one is facing consequences. Otherwise, you're condoning it. You're condoning the actions of those that you deem corrupt. Um, and part of on the Nevis side, like you say, CCM has been empowered. Not, it wasn't nothing new. It wasn't nothing new, and I'll just leave it right there. Well, this is not the year for politics from it. I'm going to leave it right there. It was
Yo,
nothing. It was nothing new.
That's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me go through some of these comments. Are all Loretta are selfish? They're still in my freezer, so you can still get yours. And big up to Evan Jeffers for tagging people. Anyway, yeah, share this show. We haven't been on in a while, so I know this is unexpected, and the topics after too. Just so you know, the topics is following up after this. So Reese, with that said, with the newly appointed Labour government, what we saw was, I guess they call it women empowerment. Every time a woman is placed into a high position, we call it women empowerment. I'm just saying that kudos to the women out there. You know what I mean? Getting things done. Getting things done. So I want to big up the Honorable Marcella Liebert and being the first Governor General who is a female. At some point in time, I hope this is just a normal thing, and a normal conversation. Like, oh yeah, Governor General, it doesn't matter if it's male or female. Prime Minister, it doesn't matter if it's male or female. You know what I mean? So we could call it women empowerment, or we could just say women out there getting things done. You know what I mean? They're out there getting things done. So big up to her.
Yeah, that was a big step by the Labour government appointing her. After she had been a candidate for quite a few elections, given her appointing her to that position, and it wasn't a bad decision. Someone once brought up to me that if I thought that Dougie ever thought about the Governor General position like that. And I said,
What do you
well,
mean?
I never thought about Dougie being a Governor General, but they said with everything that already accomplished, the only that Dougie has not done is being the Governor General.
Hmm.
Do you think that if Dougie would have said, I can step away from politics for the Governor General position, what would your thoughts have been?
Then he just step away from the politics. The
No, he
Governor
step away from
General,
the no, he step away from day-to-day politics.
the candidate politics.
Yeah, from the day-to-day politics. Yeah.
I don't know about the day to day. I would say the candidate politics because nothing more political than the government general position. I mean, it is the head of the state. Because it represents the queen. Um, you see how political the governor general position became when we had um, the breakdown of the unity construct. You know what I mean? How political that position is. You also need the governor general who go in there and help you with these bills. So may I know if that really a step down from politics, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I thought though, I don't know what the criteria is to become a governor general. As we saw, I guess you would need advisors, but I thought you need to be some kind of legal mind or something for your interpretation of laws, and I don't know. I honestly, I really feel like the position need to go away because it's just another position that we gotta pay for
Are we
every
paying big
year.
money too?
Big money, one of the highest paying jobs. And
Yeah,
I'm not like trying to bust shots at like the governor general or anything like that. They could come up with another position, but imagine the governor general makes more than the prime minister. If I'm not mistaken, the governor general up there, I know for sure the judge make more than the prime minister,
But you know what
the
I think?
resident judge.
I think honestly that the governor general should be paid by England. I don't think they should be coming out our local funds.
I mean, that's a good point.
I think
That's a good
if I
point.
am a representative of you, I should be paid by you.
That's a good point. That's not happening though. That is not
That's not happening.
happening.
That's
No,
not
that
happening.
is not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, the governor general will not be paid by England. A matter of fact, it's like you want to operate by yourself, hold this, and then you could operate by yourself. You gotta facilitate this. Because salary is one thing, eh? Cost for security, cost for house, cost for travel, cost for food. And you pretty much, when you're the governor general, I'm pretty sure you don't spend on anything. You just bank, 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 bank. It's a sweet position.
It definitely is a sweet position.
It's a sweet position. You don't even got to open your own car door. What is that? Like, that's why people probably become the governor general and die in that position. But let's move on, because I wouldn't want to open my car door again, ever.
No,
I customer people open my car door.
so wrong with you, boy.
But, I wouldn't want to.
Let me keep rolling.
I want to big up El Camilo Tanito Willett for 50 years. Last year, he hit 50 years of making the West Indies, mash up a glass ceiling. Before that, it was like unheard of. Who is this? What small island? Right now, people still don't even know the small islands, but he managed to make it to the West Indies and open the door for others, such as Stuart Williams, Keith Atherton, Sir Vivian Richards, Kyron Powell, you name it. He did it before them. Not saying that none of them would have do it after, but you still gotta big it up. So he made 50 years of that. 50 years of that. Reese, what's the conversation surrounding that? 50 years.
No, it was a major accomplishment, especially at the time, right? You're looking at cricketing icons like Curtly Ambrose, Vivian Richards, Richie Richardson. All these guys already came after him, and they only, no matter how you look at it, you gotta say, oh, Sir Vivian Richards would have made it on his own, Richie Richardson would have made it on his own. I'm not gonna say anything. But with that being said, at the end of the day, you still got to give thanks and praise to the ones who.
I lost Reese. I don't know if he lost his electricity. I don't know what happened, but he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that. Now I said, nonetheless, you still have to give respect to the one who would have gone through first. And in this case, is Mr. Willett.
Homage.
We can't act like what he did. Was a minor feat. It was major, and especially at the time, it was definitely major. When you look at the West Indies, would have been constructed of Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica. To see a small island in the mix was a big thing at the time. And
Yeah.
not just a small island, but one of the smallest of the small island. Together
small.
we had that talent to push forward and to make it through.
Yeah.
I
mean, you could imagine when you're on the big stage and they bring him up, and then somebody's like, El Camilo Willett from the island of Nevis, and they might just think it's a Nevis country and think it's a Nevis. If he's playing in England, he's playing in Australia, and people's like, where? And then, you just open up. Well, they had the internet back then, I don't think. So nobody went to Google it, but
no, there definitely no internet back then. Might have had one or two geography books. And I mean, even if you had a globe back then, then globe probably were printed where you just see a couple of that in the water. And I mean, you probably weren't even listed on any globes back then. But hey, it's a big feat. Now, of course, we are the major question that surrounds it.
Yeah. What is it? I'm trying to figure it out.
Was his contribution deserving of national hero status? And some say yes, some say no. What do you think of it, Ira? You think that national hero status should receive that? You think he should be considered a national hero? You think he's a national hero?
Yeah, easy enough. I think if he broke one barrier, he should break another one. The fact that they've never given anyone outside a politician, why not? But that is politics in itself. So I I don't see no reason why he shouldn't. Enough people is and enough people calling for it. Enough people would accept it. You know, and I think that it's about time they give him that give him that honor. Either way, it doesn't seem like he's phased by it. You know, he's
Definitely doesn't seem
always
like he's fazed by it.
yeah he's always been a quiet man and humble. You know, it's not just the cricketer; it's his overall contribution to sports in general. When you think about like Charleston Premier, what Charleston Premier has become in Nevis, well, I guess it's more than Nevis, you know. But if you have to look at more than Nevis, you have to look at the greats like Sir Vivian Richards, because this man is Sir Vivian Richards, you know, and I get it. You know, they may have done more in the position, did more when they got the opportunity, but they still tip their hats off to him for doing it first. You know, that unbreakable barrier, that feat that no one believed they could have done. Just that little push, seeing him make it, now made Reese feel like I could push hard and I could make it. Also now, you know, he opened the talent pool. Okay, maybe the selectors are like, you know, let us start looking deeper into these islands. You know, let us start looking at Antigua. Let us start looking at Nevis. Let us start looking at St. Kitts. Let us start looking at these smaller countries. I think with that, you know, it's a great accomplishment. I don't see why not. Him and Kim Collins could be national heroes. Well,
All right, understandable. I think the pushback against. I think I understand where what you're saying. I would understand where the pushback would come from. Also, if I'm looking at if you look at it statistically. I mean, you're looking at it. He played 5 matches, but he bat 8 innings. He averaged 15 runs an inning. I mean, so that in itself is a pushback
here's a
because
bowler.
then right, okay, we can go to the bowling stats. He bowled in 10 innings, 5 matches total. In 10 innings, he had 11 wickets. So that's why.
And Reese gone again. I don't know why Reese saying update the internet, you know. Computer. Whatever. Something. He gotta do better. I think he gone this time. Gone. He might gotta connect with the phone or something. Reese, you're gone, you know. You're back now?
I'm not getting out of this internet, man.
You need to restart your modem now and again, you know.
Who's this?
Your router.
Somebody said, boy, what you know about cricket? Are you just going straight based on the stats that I just put forward there?
But you gotta go back because you said bowling. He had 1 wicket per game. How many runs?
No, 1 wicket. No, he had 11 overall wickets in 10 innings. So it's roughly about the inning.
Yeah, but how
Wicket
many runs they get off of him? They
We're
don't
going
got
to
that
look at
stat.
how many
That stat
runs.
not there.
So he had
Big
482
up
runs. So
Hines.
in 10 innings, you're looking at 48.2 runs for every one wicket.
Okay.
So I think that is where the
So
pushback could
so
come from.
he has to do it first and still be great. Because one of the things we've never seen or heard is what was it like when he got there. Because it's uncharted territories now, you know. You know, was it really receptive? You know, Rosa Parks only sat down, allegedly, and she's gone down in history, and all she did was sat down. So you want to take one great accomplishment, and because maybe when he made it to the West Indies, the stats is not spectacular. It must dull down the one great thing that he did. Because when Vivian Richards made it, no, somebody already done that. So now you got to go in there and make the runs. And I'm not saying that he needed to go in there and just chill, but we didn't know what it was like being the first person from a small island to go in. The fight might have been real. The fight might
No,
have
the
been
fight would
real.
have, no, not might have been real. The fight would have been real, and it'd have been something that they're not accustomed to, right? Because it'd have been the first time that that these individuals would have seen somebody from a small island. They might have even said, "Why, where's Nevis?" You know, you may have to spend 15 minutes explaining where's Nevis just that alone. So I get that, but I I understand what you're saying. I also understand what no.
Yeah. Well, I understand that if they're saying that, it's because, boom. It's like, yeah, the stats could have been better, but the fact that he did it first.
because
And I think,
because because you know what the question becomes once you do that. Okay, we let we give this award to Bullet. All
yeah,
right, cool. So then Stuart come and Stuart say, "Hey, listen, I got 4 centuries here. I got
okay.
4 Test centuries, 3 1-day centuries.
Hmm.
Um, so where do I fall?
The goalpost don't move.
The
The
goalpost will always
goalpost
keep
don't.
the
No, the
goalpost
goalpost
gonna always
don't
keep
move.
moving.
No,
Gonna always
to
keep
do
moving.
it to do it first is like the Wright brothers only flew for a couple of seconds, bro. Them man no fly for no junk of time, and you ain't flying on the Wright brother plane. But we know their name. We understand what they're
Mm,
dealing with.
mm.
They did it. You see what I'm saying? After that, you can't expect the next man to do it just a little more than the White brothers. It has to be a mega advancement at that point. The goalpost don't move now. The same thing with the vehicle. It's the first to do it goes down in history because it's never been done before. That in itself is the accomplishment. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, no, that's when you start to think about advancement. Achieve it, and then you start to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to go forward. That's
But
how
that's
I
the thing,
see it.
right? You're right. Achieved and then you start to go forward. But everybody that came after went forward. So then does everybody who went forward then get this thing? Because everybody that came after
Yeah,
went a step forward. After
yeah,
Turner went a step forward. Stuart went a
yeah,
step forward.
yeah.
So then do we then say, well, we're gonna put all of them in because they all made a step forward?
I mean, it's not necessarily that they did a step forward. It's what does that step look like? You know what I mean? So, like for instance, Brian Lara, when he went in, he broke the world record. It is that enough for him to be considered a national hero because he broke the world record, right? Yeah, you're gonna say easily you're gonna say yeah, because that's the stats of the game. But like I'm saying, the accomplishment here was to break the silo and open up the doors for all these other people in this region to do it. That is the stats that I'm looking at, but you can't measure that. It's abstract.
You cannot measure it. That's
Yeah.
a fact. You cannot measure it.
Yeah. But we
All
can't
right.
stick and step on that. But we
We,
in them times, we gotta talk about culture, Amma.
we got to talk about culture.
Yeah, we gotta talk about culture, Amma. Actually,
uh,
before we talk about culture, Amma, let me talk about what's killing culture, Amma. What's beating culture, Amma? Badly, badly, badly. What Donald Trump does say bigly? Um,
maybe beating culture or something beating culture.
like a child, like a little child. Culturama is in July, but just before July, there is a major event going on, right? It, it's hard for me living in the United States looking at these two events, one in June, one in July, to say, boss, I don't really call people boss, but I need time off in June. And then sharply after that, I need time off in July. Not only that, it's a financial burden. So now I got to pick between these two events. Reese, what are the two events?
Hold on. Bernal Duggins Richard says music festival. I don't believe that music festival is a competitor to Culturama. I tell him you should please.
Bernal Duggan has just won a grand prize, right?
I
You
got
don't
to
believe
stop.
so?
I got to
Okay then.
start to talk things that make sense.
Well, tell me how
No,
it doesn't
how
make
I gonna
sense.
tell me that? How I gonna tell me that music festival is what beating Culturama? Come on,
I
man.
love the fact that the sarcasm is so thick
Come
coming
on,
off
man.
of your voice.
Yeah,
It
but let
is
me tell
so
you the truth,
thick.
eh? Tell you the truth. Because I've been
Please.
saying this for the longest while, eh? So
Yeah.
nobody now gonna make it seem like Reese A been preaching this.
Reese been
The
preaching that
biggest competitor to Culturama is Music Fest.
music
Anybody who
festival.
can't see it blind,
Yeah.
right? You're blind in your left eye and you can't see what your right eye completely. Because the biggest competitor to Culturama is Music Fest. Now, 2023, Music Fest bring Burna Boy.
Mm.
At that time, Burna Boy is top 3, top 4 artists in the world.
Yep.
Right? We talking Bad Bunny, we
Sitting on
talking
top of the
Taylor
world.
Swift. Like Burna Boy is the man.
On top of the world.
Some islands weren't able to bring Burna Boy into the island. So some
Yeah.
people leave the island and they think it's because Burna Boy they think it's
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. And you know what they do? Them man show Burna Boy face out there early.
Early.
Yeah, before I even started the work Culturama, let me tell you about Music Fest. Burna Boy gonna be here. Yeah. Let me talk about it. Burna Boy in the area. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So 2023, Music Fest pull out the big whip. Pop.
Pop.
Hey Culturama
Lash.
Say
Hard
2020. Say 2024 Culturama 50. Them man gonna come out the gate early. Music Fest can't bang them. What? Music Fest bring out the poster for 8 days. Yo, Music Fest went from 3 days to 8 days. Huh? Dead. I better pray the old people in England and up there in Connecticut and so on to come home. A Culturama 50 dead.
But I read you something else, but you're right. Music Fest use large festivals like Inception Fete, and people went to Inception, and Inception, you got I've never been to Inception, but what I got is it's a inclusive event, and they give you a cup, and the cup is synonymous with Inception. And this year, and the cup was Music Festival. You see what I'm saying? Music Festival was on the cup. So we are already thinking about Music Festival. I could guarantee you at this point in time that Culturama 50 had natural hype. It was just natural for people to start thinking about Culturama.
Yeah, they did.
50.
You hear 50. You want to be there. Golden celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Music Festival coming out with this idea of 8 days of festival, we don't even know what it's going to look like. Reese, you and I were speculating that it might not be 8 days of concert, but maybe they start to bring in some of the pre-events and the post-events onto the calendar. But no, I don't even know the last time I thought about Culturama 50. I kind of wondering if I got into Music Festival this year, because I want to see who they got, and if the lineup looking crazy.
I am willing to put money, right? Because from time to time when I gamble, if Culturama apply any pressure to Music Festival, just a little bit of pressure, I feel a Music Festival ready to release at least 10 artists. Bam, that's a part of the lineup. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
Music Fest just got this thing in the pocket, just waiting, just to throw it in.
yeah, yeah.
But that is how you got to do it. You got
That's
to be
it.
ready at all times.
That's it. That's it.
At
That's it.
all times. You know what I mean? And when I was saying this, nobody was listening to me. You got you got to prepare because we have this tendency of thinking, okay, Barbados got crap over and Antigua got this and Tatola and Anguilla. Yeah, everybody got their own crowd there. But
Yeah.
but that little bit of crowd that you're battling for, but you gotta do something to make them want to come to you.
Yeah, and I can tell you, a lot of people travel for music festival.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I had a manager, and she from Tatola, and the last time when I was here, yeah, she used to go to music festival all the time. Blah 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 blah. You know, one time I home, and she said to me, she sent me a text, and she said, "I need some place in a Nevis who go eat." Music festival she there, but she take a day go over Nevis. So I guess that's the upside. You get a little do Nevis in between. But people looking out for this music festival, I'm gonna say kudos to Sinkits for managing to put on a festival of this magnitude, because that could never be easy. And this festival is getting bigger, and it seems like it's getting better. And I'm not
As it
hearing
should.
people complain. You
As
know
it
what I
should.
mean? As it should. The same thing that's happening in December. We can get to December, but are we having that same feeling for Culturama? Is Culturama growing? Is Culturama something that people really looking forward to? I was looking at one of the videos that I recorded in Culturama, and there was no one in the village. I felt ashamed. Yeah, matter of fact, when I was recording the video, what I was doing was every time I had to switch the angle, I would lift the camera up in the air high enough so nobody could see the crowd. So from the stage and then maybe back over again, come down in a little angle so I could show the 1, 2, 3 people who are dance and so. But I love Nevis. And I love Culturama, and I just want to see us do better. I just hope that we get off to a better start this year, which
No,
we are already at a late start.
no, we could do better, right? I tell you, we could do better. I have seen many individuals use different platforms, different forums to make suggestions. So it's not that the suggestions aren't out there. I have
Yeah.
seen these suggestions being made. These suggestions are falling on deaf ears. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over, I should not expect a different result. But
Well,
you know what I should expect? I should expect that Music Fest come in 8 days and Music Fest made see me.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Party
And then
all night.
yeah, and then the other thing about the Music Fest part too,
Yeah.
Music Fest has an inclusive feel, right? So if you're not got money to go to Music Fest, you could go down by the circus, down there by the big green clock, and them and the music are play and vibes are going. But you don't even see, you really got much of that, even during Culturama. Really got much of that.
Yeah. You're right. Stay safe out there in those harsh weathers. I saw someone say that they had a snowstorm. But you're absolutely right. And I don't want to stay too long on Culturama, but imagine the Road March song got released a couple days before. The Road March song got released a couple days before, but we need to move on from Culturama. We could have stayed all night on it, but we're running out of time. The topic's up in 8 minutes. So Reese internet now work too good. Something a little less interesting to most people, but El Nino is over. El Nino is a weather pattern that's been causing droughts and intense hurricanes in the Atlantic. We have now entered the El Nino, but unfortunately, the last thing I heard about El Nino is that it's falling apart. If people in St. Kitts and Nevis realize we're getting more rain in St. Kitts and Nevis, is because the weather pattern has changed. El Nino is controlled by the largest body of water that we have on this planet, which is the Pacific Ocean. You could look into that. It's hope El Nino stays around a little bit longer, just so we could get a little more rain fill up some of these reservoirs that we have, and hopefully we find ways to collect the water. And I don't know if it's in the budget. I leave that for the topics. Lack of investment. They're putting $3 million this year. They said they got $3 million this year. Okay,
3 million.
let's talk. Yeah, quickly. I think Sinkits had an exceptional year as it came to as it pertains to airlift. Sinkits has gone miles away. I told Reese I didn't want to do a comparison, but guess what? I will. Sinkits has gone miles away in front of Nevis when it comes to airlift. They had an inaugural flight with Inter-Caribbean Airways. I don't know if that's still going, but it was a thing. You saw JetBlue coming in, direct flight from JFK. Reese, you would have taken that flight,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know
yeah,
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that go.
Yeah. Let me fly there.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You want to make a comparison to Nevis, boy?
No, there's no comparison.
You
There's
want to
no
do that, boy?
comparison.
You
No,
drag Nevis
there's no comparison. Unfortunately, Nevis is not looking at the bigger sister as motivation to move forward.
No, and I think that is where we go wrong. That is where we differ as well. I think that what they need to do in Nevis, the biggest mistake they make in Nevis is to upgrade the airport. Shut up the airport where it used to be. Yeah,
And let the flights come in and Sinkits?
because we have unrealistic expectations. Here's where we are. There's no place, right?
Yeah.
There's no place. There you see two islands sharing one flag. That you have two international airports side by side. If you want to go to Barbuda, you got to land Antigua, and
Yeah.
even Montserrat, and they share two different
Yeah.
flags. Right?
Yeah.
You want to go to the Grenadines, you land St. Vincent, you start out. You want to go
Okay.
to Tobago, 9 out of 10, you gotta go through that, then you start
Yeah.
out. Same thing with St. Kitts Nevis. I don't understand why we have this unrealistic expectation that
Then you
Nevis is
don't
supposed to have this. That
Good
Nevis
night,
is supposed to have
Adele.
this grand airport. No, we don't have
Then
that.
you don't understand the constitution of Sinkits and Nevis, because all of those other islands don't have what Sinkits and Nevis have. Nevis has the right to leave the federation at any point in time if they choose so with a referendum. Nevis is not supposed to be under Sinkits. All of those other islands that you speak of, they don't have a local island administration as well, like Nevis. They don't govern any of their affairs. Nevis
So
and Sinkits constitution is strictly unique in that way.
So how about we focus on the separation part first, and then we focus on the building after? Because
Well,
we will never separate. If we do not separate, then it's pointless.
well, you got a good point there, but I'm not gonna make anybody feel like I'm a secessionist, because apparently the words of secessionist is a bad thing. But like, if you're a secessionist, is a bad thing. But
Yeah, you can't have a belief,
the the idea is Nevis is supposed to be growing to a point where Nevis is self-sustained. That is why the federal government is Sinkits local government, right? And not really so much the federal government is a federal government. The federal government is a local government. I just want people to recognize that. The federal government is a local government with jurisdictions over Nevis, but it is a local government for Sinkits. So when they like to say Sinkits not got a local government, no, they got the federal local government.
The federal government is saying it's local government. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna push all of this stuff about the airport, let's just see it. Let's pull away and then let's go ahead and develop we thing. Let me go develop we thing the right way. But we don't want to go develop it the right way because we still want to hitch on. So then we gotta make a decision. What we gonna do? We're gonna stay hitch on or we're gonna pull away. If you're gonna pull away, then let me pull away and develop it. If you're gonna stay hitch on, let me gotta stop talking.
Yeah, we're running out of time. So yeah, that's a good point. And actually, let me check to see if them are ready.
Hey, what we ain't talking about Sinkits Carnival, yo. Sinkits Carnival was amazing this year.
We're gonna talk about it now.
I feel upset that I couldn't make it to Singles Carnival, but one of these years I'm gonna be in there. I gonna see me.
So yeah, Sugar Mass. Let's not call it Sinkits Carnival. It is branded. It has a name, just like
That is true.
Culturama has a name. Sugar
That is
Mass.
true. Sugar
Sugar
Mass.
Mass. And Sugar Mass is now trying hard to get out there to the world, right? To the world. That is what Sugar Mass is trying to do, right? Sugar Mass is now trying to get out there to the world. So what did Sugar Mass do differently? Sugar Mass did X differently to Culturama. One of the things they seeked a lot of the bigger companies are moving away from advertisers and looking for influencers, right? Influencers now are where people are putting their money for marketing. So Sugar Mass, whoever the genius behind it was, they chose to go the influencer route, right? Strictly influence. Trini Jungle Juice, Bajan TV,
No, Beijing too. Beijing too. Beijing TV
Bajan 2,
different.
Bajan 2, Bajan 2,
Yeah.
Bajan 2. I don't know what you laugh at.
If you know Beijing TV buy, listen, Beijing TV different buy. Trust me.
Bajan TV is a thing. Okay, Bajan
Yeah.
2. You know,
But
the other dude. Go ahead.
no, but you're right, right? They instead of putting money into sponsorship, they went and they got influencers to come in to promote the carnival. So what you're just seeing is videos, for example, from Trini Jungle Juice got 30,000 views. At one
Mhm.
point, he had a thing where he was watching Sugar Band live jamming. I wanted to say it would have been last lap, and at one point he had over 3,000 people watching it. You know what I mean? And this is individuals who ain't necessarily from the Twin Island Federation of Sakers, and he was just watching, you know.
Yeah.
And you realize that now you're starting to hear more people talking about it. There's this influencer I follow. His name is Blacky something, and he done make it clear next year he in St. Kitts for sure.
Yeah.
He done
Him.
he has made it clear
Hmm.
he in St. Kitts next year for sure. He don't care if he got to walk on water and 15 far country spoon. He in St. Kitts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and when you look at some of the videos that these guys are putting out, these guys really did what they were paid for.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. They were putting out videos quickly too. Kudos to
yo,
them again. You know,
these
them
videos
man,
were coming out. They were
them
coming
man
out
itching.
quickly. They were getting angles that you ain't accustomed to seeing out the St. Kitts neighbors. You had a lot
Yeah.
of drone footage from some of these guys. You know,
Yeah.
real good. These guys stayed on top of the business. So,
Yeah.
whoever idea was to move away from all this corporate sponsorship and bringing these influencers,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
You find something right there.
Yeah. By the way, Real Entertainment offers those services as well. Like we have drones and we have cameras and we have mics and we have play. So whenever you guys want anything done, reach out. But it's a little more difficult because I've been trained. Anyway, Road March had a little controversy. You know, the small accent. Reese, you were saying it all the time. You were like, "Bye, I don't be surprised if Showtime win." You know, when it comes to band music and soca music, Reese is our in-house professional. I tend to go with whatever Reese say. Yeah. Not in
So
terms of what sounds good, but when he said
no, but
look out,
well,
look out.
when I read the criteria, I knew that Showtime was what Showtime had it because a
Mhm.
part of the criteria has to do with crowd participation and performance.
Yeah.
Every other song that you had, there's nothing really to perform to. Happy
Mhm.
is a good song, yes, but you don't have nothing to perform to. The
Mhm.
simple part of Showtime, that's a left and right and left and right. That's all they needed there.
Went the wrong way, but
That
okay.
and that and the fact that them man get all these flags. That was it. Right? That was matter of fact, I want to put it out there. I have never seen so many St. Kitts News flags in one spot yet.
It was amazing. It was
Yo,
beautiful because the
you're
flag is
right.
a beautiful
Showcase,
flag, eh?
not Showtime. This flag is
Showcase.
pretty.
Yeah,
The flag
it's
is
a
a
beautiful
flag.
beautiful flag, and
Oh, that
that
flag
in
is well designed.
itself you've seen that video go viral too. You know, that video has been going all over the place. I just look posh.
And
Yeah,
then, one of the things that people don't realize, right? And I've been telling you this for a while, Ira.
yeah,
Songs that people could sing and they don't have to be in key, and
yeah,
they could just show it to the top of the lungs, then always be a song that people gonna like.
yeah.
So the part
No,
where it
yeah.
say, "Make the carnival big, make the carnival big,"
One big, yeah, 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 yeah,
yo.
yeah,
When
yeah,
I
yeah,
hear it,
yeah,
I
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah,
yo.
yeah,
And I remember
yeah,
when you
yeah,
were talking, I say, yo, listen,
yeah,
that song,
yeah,
that song got something special to it,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Um, and I'll tell you all the second part to it too. People talk about Ken and Bobby. Ken and Bobby was a good song, yes.
yeah,
Pressure was a good song, yes.
yeah.
But one of the biggest things that happened with songs like Ken and Bobby and Pressure is
Mhm.
because they have so many elements within the music. It's hard for the music to catch on in such a short period of time.
Mhm.
So, for example, if you had Ken and Bobby with a Trinidad kind of release, where you release 5, 6, 7 months before Carnival, that song would have survived. But I
Mhm.
don't think Ken and Bobby within 2 months was going to do enough to impact Road Match.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree, and I think the idea right now to create a powerful song is actually simple lyrics. You know, there are lyricists in the world, and there's I think Shaggy. You know, Shaggy would have told TJ this. It is not. Sean Paul would have said it. You know, these are the mans who are these are the men who are making waves on the dancehall scene, and it's the same thing with soca songs, like you said. You know what I mean? V- All you have to do, people need to be able to sing along, and it no matter how they sound. Ken and Barbie was a good song. Rangman was a good song that people could relate to. Um, what else? Pressure. Pressure had vibes, you know. The part about pressure, you know, but ain't really too much going on. There is a criteria. It's like studying for a test, right? So when you're at showcase going on, and then I look like they watch the criteria and say, okay, this is how we can build a song, yeah, because we need to add this element, we need to add that element, we need to add this element, so we could attack this criteria so we could win the road match. Is it a good thing? Maybe. You know, maybe the criteria now needs to be built in a way that the songs them for road march could have international appeal, right? So maybe that's what they need to start to do. That the songs have an international appeal and not so much geared towards the local road march. Maybe they don't care. I don't know.
Hey, hold on though. One thing that Bernal said, flags from a lot of Caribbean islands were blended within the St. Kitts Nevis flags. That is true. But let me tell you, you see, with all these influences that we got going on,
Yeah.
more the next time we get a flag song in St. Kitts Nevis, we're gonna have so many more colors because so many more islands gonna be represented. It's gonna be amazing to see.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
is going to be a hell of a thing to see. When you see the Dominica flag, the St. Vincent flag, the VA flag, Haiti flag, all these flags just going left and going right together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be a hell of a thing to see. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
cannot
know
wait
that,
to see
huh?
that.
Well, we can see how that go. Yeah, I don't even want to touch that topic there too much, just because. Um, I looking to see if them fellows ready. I don't know if they're ready. 'Cause if they're ready, then I could come. We could come off the air. If not, we could kind of circle back.
But hold on. Okay, so somebody said, well, Reese actually big up. Said one of the reason for so
Namesake.
many different country flag was Arab SKN troop came back large, and that very well could be it as well, But just the fact that we got all these people there, man, it was such a thing to see, man. I was so happy to see it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I, There's a silent between this evening. But hey, Culturama 50. I keep our eyes open. A lot of things may be going on. But if Music Fresh drop the line of us, I make the Music Fresh instead of Culturama. Don't say it a lie.
I love Nevis. Like that's what really brings me back to Nevis. I never go home for Nevis because I get home for Culturama. Do I choose to go during Culturama? Yes, because at least something might be going on. But
So something going on, and you
Yeah.
link up with some people you may see for a while.
yeah, but ain't like, oh yeah, me getting home because of Culturama. Yeah, but me got to go home because of Culturama. This is the year for that. This is the year for people to say they're getting home of Culturama.
Hey, listen, and let me tell you something too. You see if Music First lineup release early enough and the
Okay.
lineup sweet, let me tell you what Culturama got to do. You see them charter flight, they like just said election time? You better go send some charter flight. Now election Culturama gonna be dead.
All right. But we're gonna end off. No, because both people from the topics are here, and for me, 2023 ended roughly, and I definitely had a hard 2023 close off. So for who know, or who don't, for those who know, those who don't, I had surgery in November. I tore my meniscus. That's why we originally went off here, and I was going through therapy. Well, recovering. I'm now doing therapy. But also in the same month, I lost my mother, and just tore me up. It still tears me up, but like even right now, it's one of the hardest things any human being could deal with. So just all right. And with that, Reese, I know you came for the funeral, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that reached out, everyone that dropped a card, checked in on me, showed up, show. Yeah, I really do appreciate you. You came down for the funeral, and you went to a spot in St. Kitts, right? So you did a little quick thing with them.
Yeah. They're the quick thing with them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. We can play it.
And we're gonna play it?
I think it's about 3 minutes long. And then we're gonna close off. Yeah.
Okay, we'll play it and I'll tell people about it a little bit. That's one of the great experiences that I had while I was there.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Tamara Wilkinson. I'm the owner of Rock Lobster Seafood and Grill.
All right, so how long has this establishment been around? How long have you been owning this restaurant?
I owned this restaurant for 3 years, but Rock Lobster has been in this island for about 22 years in all. It was previously owned from Giles and Deborah Lines. That was my previous owner. And during the COVID situation happened and Circle has been turned and they offered me this establishment. So I took it over for the past 3 years now.
All right, great. So tonight I had 2 meals. I had the lobster tremado and also the whole lobster in Cajun sauce with garlic butter on the side.
Yes.
Give me a little bit of the backstory of those 2 meals.
Okay, the whole lobster, we catch our lobster, or fishermen bring in a lobster basically nearly every week to start us out for the whole flu. You normally get some big boys, like a 3-pounder, and the 3-pounder is what you had for the lobster thermidor. It's break down with a cream spicy sauce, as I stated, with some special ingredients that we put in place. And then you have the whole lobster, which is consists of about a 2-pound lobster, and we do it just natural with lemon, garlic and herb sauce. We nicely grill it up, nice to perfection. Serve it with some rosemary and garlic mashed potato and vegetables, which change on a weekly basis as well.
All right, thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Go.
Both. Work for lobster seafood and grill.
Yeah, man. All right. So tonight I came. I had 2 meals. The lobster thermidor and the whole lobster in Cajun sauce with garlic butter on the side. Tell us a little bit about those 2 meals, man, because those are phenomenal for me.
Yeah, them are two of the favorite sellers. The whole lobster, it's grilled, and so with a garlic butter sauce, you get the mash, veg, fries, however you want it. And the thermidor, that's the bad boy right there. Yeah, you get it with secret ingredients where you got.
Yeah,
lobster. Yeah, man, a lobster cheesy sauce. You put the lobster to boil, you take it out of the shell, cut it up, and we put it in a nice cheesy sauce. Yeah, man, so you don't know.
And it's a secret ingredient.
Secret, man. I
Can't look at the secret.
Can't let it go, man.
So after the corner release his secret, then you're going to release yours?
Yeah, I tell
All
you,
right.
of course.
So good, so good. So this establishment, how long this establishment been around? Tell us a little bit
Been
about the
around for
establishment.
3 years.
3 years?
3 years, yeah.
All right, so a 3-year establishment, good food, man, good quality service.
Yeah, man. We're here to please. We're here to please, man.
You guys definitely did that tonight,
Yeah,
man.
man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
All right, bless.
Respect. Yeah.
Let's on jiggy. Let's on jiggy. Let's on jiggy. Let's on jiggy.
All
Reese.
right,
Let's on jiggy.
yo, listen, dog, listen, yo.
I am going.
Yo,
I'll be
listen. That's the tremolo right there.
The Chemador.
Yeah, but anyway, let me tell you a little something about this, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, one of the things when you go to Caribbean restaurants, you don't necessarily expect the greatest service sometimes, right? And it's sad that we actually think of it like that.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, like, these guys had amazing service, and this is with me, who used to work at Marriott at one point, so I kind of have an understanding of the service game, eh? And, bro, like the dude bounce, he come around, he do like what you call table touches. After the food is served, you know what I mean, he come around just to make sure everything good, see if you need anything else and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The service was amazing, right? The service was amazing. And I tell you, top dollar I would pay, the service was amazing. Jasmine said if I had 2 lobster meals. No, I didn't have 2 lobster meals, Dahlia. Lisa went down with me, so Lisa had the lobster thermidor and I had the whole lobster. But of course, we shared a little bit to eat so we could get a little taste.
Have to.
Yeah. For everybody asking, this place is called Rock Lobster. It's over in the Friggin' Bay area. Once you make that left turn to go towards Marriott, it's going to be on your right-hand side. But when I tell you about good food, good atmosphere, good vibes, and if you go on a Saturday they have this special that they do. I don't remember exactly the special call, but I want to call it Superstar Saturday. But I ain't the name. But like you pay $100 and you get they take care of you with some great stuff. Yo, let me tell you, man, the service is good, the food is good. If you got a chance, you're gonna get to Rock Lobster. I went down with no intention of recording anything. I had no plans to record. I didn't even bring my camera. I recorded on my phone. That's how good the food was. I had to record something. No, they don't only serve lobster. They also serve fresh fish. They serve conch. They serve crab. They serve a lot of different things. But when I landed in St. Kitts, I knew that I wanted lobster. So I tell my aunt, yo, listen, I need lobster before you're gonna eat this, and she sat me out. You know, but they have a wide array of meals. And even if you don't eat seafood, they have non-seafood meals. But I tell you for a fact, man, that the service over there is good. The food is good. Even if you look back at the pictures, there's one they had this jug of juice. That thing of fruit punch was for me alone. You know, that was for me alone. And I didn't go there as like as an influencer or anything. It's just after I had the meal, I said, man, I got to take some pictures and talk to these people a little bit. And yes, for everybody who wants to know, I did pay for my meal in full and I tip. You know what I
Well,
mean? But hey,
good tip
but
too.
yo,
I could tell
big
you
up,
tip
big up.
them well.
Yeah. No, listen, not only did they tip them well, I leave the place, I went over to Marriott and used Marriott Wi-Fi to write
A review.
reviews. Yeah, I went to Marriott, use Marriott Wi-Fi to
Wow.
write the review, man. You know what I mean? That
Wow.
man, you know, when I tell you about a place that really blew my mind,
Yeah.
that was it right there. Yeah.
I will
Next time I
say
go back,
too.
I get in there too.
I going to. I will, and the reason why I'm going to go is Reese is a very picky eater, right? So if Reese was this amazed that he had to take a video, share it with the Wren family, then I think we need to shop to that place. But we're gonna stick a pin in this one and allow the topics to come on. You know what I mean? In the meantime, everyone, it's been real. Well,
Bless.
oh, blessings.